In this video, I'm going to demonstrate the ITAD module. In our system, we have two approaches. One is directly importing the ITAD information into the system for further reports. Otherwise, the second approach is a more detailed one, which is you will be inputting each and every data and do the asset tracking and do the functional and the cosmetic readings into the system using our system itself. So to proceed, first I will show you the direct data dump method to do in a system for ITAD. So here to begin with, I am coming into the ITAD module. In ITAD module, we have asset tracking. So for asset tracking, we will just click on the add button to add any asset tracking. And here we can add multiple items against multiple job orders, in which warehouse the final item is flowing to, and other details such as date in, date out methods, asset tags, unit ID, lot ID, created by, then manufacturer, model, and all these fields are there as you can see in my screen. And at the last, we have the quantity, the alternate quantity if it is applicable, the batch number, and the selling price. So this is the overall asset tracking if you want to do using the manual method. That means you can also create a Excel file using it, and you can import in our system directly, and all the data will be saved in the system. I'm downloading the sample template file. So it has been downloaded, and when I open it, I have filled up the data. That means which item, which job order, in which warehouse the final finished item will go, then what is the date in, date out, the asset tag, all the data are filled up as you can see in the sheet. So I will simply upload the file and I'll submit it. So as soon as I submit it, one log will be generated by the system with the details that all the rows has been successfully imported. So now I'll move on back to the asset tracking dashboard, and over here I can see asset 1003 has been imported and the approve is pending. So I'll go and review the rows which have been imported. So these are fine, which I have imported. All the data are pre-filled as you can see, and I'll click on save changes again. If I need any update, I can do the update here. So these are the data. If everything is fine, I'll click on approve and confirm. Once I've confirmed, it has been approved and the asset tracking is done. And if I go to the stock ledger, in the stock ledger, we can see the details like aircraft parts body 3 has been moved in, the stock type has been ITAD, and the warehouse is ITAD. Also, we are moving aircraft part to the trade warehouse. It has successfully moved. So in this way, you can manage ITAD in our system. Next, I will be showing the detailed ITAD module. Welcome to part 2 of our ITAD demonstration video. In this video, I'm going to show you the detailed functioning of ITAD system. Welcome to the second part of the video in which I'm going to demonstrate the system where we are managing ITAD details. So to begin with, first in the system we have to define various warehouses, and while creating the warehouses we have to select if ITAD is yes or no. Because to manage ITAD we are creating some special warehouses. So once the warehouse is set, next we'll move on to items. In items, I will show you the creation of items at first. So for example, we are creating an item laptop in the system, which we will be receiving as ITAD materials. So I have created the laptop item, and in the laptop item, I have defined the components, what we will be getting when we are doing the operations of ITAD. So here I have given processor 1, RAM 2, and hard disk 1. So and now I will be saving the laptop item. Similar way, we can create multiple items in the system. So once item and the warehouse are set, now we will move on to the ITAD module. In ITAD module, we have two ways of receiving the items. One is by creating purchase orders that we are going to purchase XYZ amount of items. Otherwise, by creating services that we are going to receive. I will just show the purchase approach. Over here, I'll go to the ITAD purchase register and click on create new. Here, I will select the seller from which we are buying. I'll enter the tax number, the date I will be entering. Here is ITAD is by default selected, and here I will select, for example, laptop. Maybe hundreds of laptop we are receiving in pieces. I'll save it. After saving, I'll just create a purchase order against it. I'll put the price as 0 for now. So the purchase order is created for laptop 100 pieces. Now I will be doing the good receipt note against this purchase. So I'll move on to the GRN window, and in GRN I'll select the date on the date when we have received the items, I'll select the purchase order. This is the purchase order. These are non-mandatory details, but you can fill it up like the vehicle number, bill date, bill number. Then here I'll select the item, laptop 100. So the pending quantity is 100 as of now. Let us consider we are receiving 5. So when I have entered 5 and the ITAD warehouse, here the ITAD warehouse will show that we have created. And if there is any description that you want to enter, you can enter it here. And I'll save it. So after saving it, I'll update if any update is required. Otherwise, I'll approve it. And when we approve it, the GRN will be approved. And if I move to the stock ledger, we can see that 5 laptops has been stocked in, and the stock type is good receipt in the ITAD warehouse, as you can see. Now, I will be moving to the asset tracking part. As we have done the purchase and then we have received the GRN, I'm moving on to the asset tracking part now. In asset tracking, I'll first click on add. I'll select what is the GRN type. Is it purchase or services? We are dealing with purchase, so purchase. Then we will enter which GRN. So I'm selecting this GRN that we have just recently created. The asset tracking date and time will be entered here, and I'll go to the next screen. In the next screen, automatically, as we have received 5 laptops, the 5 rows will be added. So in the 5 rows, we can select all the values over here, the brand that we have received, the models, what are the serial numbers of that one. I'm just putting some dummy values over here. What is the script category? What are the quantities? By default, the quantity is selected 1 because we have received 5, and here we have 5 rows. What is the grading? What is the product, unit of measure, asset tag, erase tool? There are many fields over here. What is the processor generation? And if there is any description, you can enter it in. And overall, if we have any description, we can enter it the below part. Now I'll save it. So as soon as I save it, the asset tracking detail is saved. If you want to go and check the GRN, we can check it from here. The purchase order also from here, and the details are here. So now I will proceed to approve the asset tracking. That means everything has been done. So after approval, one check is there. We cannot update it later on. So before approval, if any more data we want to input, we can go and click on update and it will be inputted. So now, as you can see, brand and serial numbers are mandatory for doing asset tracking. So I have entered all the brand details and the serial number details for all the assets. Now I'll click on approve. So when I click on approve and proceed to yes, it is approved. And once it is approved, if I go to the right hand side, you can see here manage uploads and view details. So if you want to upload any images or any documents against each asset, we can do it in the system itself. Now I'll go to view detail. In view detail, basically the brand, model, and the serial number will be shown, and the manage upload button will also be shown here. So if I click on manage upload, I will be going to a new tab, and here we have the option to upload various kinds of images or PDF files for now. So I'll just choose a file, processing image I want to show. I'll upload it. So this processing image is uploaded. Later on, when the work is done, I want to show the processed image. So I'll just choose a processed image, like click it, and then upload it in the system. So this will be saved in the system. Now I'll go back to the asset tracking item detail. Over here, if I click on approve, it will not allow me to approve it because we have not added the item and components that are defined in the item masters. So now I'll click on update. Over here, you can see, as I have shown at the beginning of the video, there are 3 components. That is 1 processor, 2 RAM, and 1 hard disk of laptop. So here you can see the model is coming. Brand and serial number are not editable because those are already approved. Now here, I'll check each and every item. If there is any remarks, I'll enter it here. And overall remarks, I'll enter it here. And I'll click on save. So until and unless all the check status are yes for each and every component, I cannot approve it. So now as I have selected all yes, I'll approve it. So while approving it, now the same page will come. If I want to update any item details, we can update. Otherwise, at the below, now you can see the functional grading and the cosmetic grading. So before proceeding to approval, I would just give you a summary of the functional grading and the cosmetic grading. So functional conditions grading and the cosmetic condition grading are dependent on the users who are using it. So over here, I have just created my own functional grading and cosmetic grading. You can see here. So so in our system, these are not fixed. You can have as many conditions of functional or cosmetic as you like. You can create it yourself. So for example, if I create here grade D and code is maybe D, and I'll save it. So I have created the cosmetic condition with grade D. Now I'm coming to functional condition. In functional condition, we have already created grade B, grade A, and grade C. I'll just update grade B and add a corresponding cosmetic condition against it, grade D, and I'm removing grade B from it. Now I'll save it. So I have created a functional condition grading grade B, which is functional with minor defects, and the cosmetic conditions I have defined. That for this functional condition, these are the cosmetic conditions that are applicable. Now, if I go back to the asset tracking page, approval page, here I can select the functional grading. For example, I'm selecting grade B. and the respective grade B applicable conditions will pop up here: A, C, and D. Maybe the cosmetic grading is C. I'll select the approval date, and next is the process method. So in our system, we have two process methods. One is recycling and one is refurbishment. I'll begin with the refurbishment. So if we select refurbishment and save it, so the whole item will be moved to our inventory as a finished good, which can be sold using the selling module, which is already there in the system. So that is what refurbishment means. And if we select recycling and click on save changes, the items in the asset tracking will be moved on to our production order module, where recycling can be done of that item, and all the output items that are coming out of the recycling can be moved back to the inventory using our production order module that is already available here. So if I select recycling and then save it, you can see that this has been approved, and the production order POP 16924 is automatically created in our system with the laptop details over here. So this is overall our ITAD in detail. If I move on to stock ledger, now as one item we have successfully approved, or one asset if you want to say. So here you can see laptop, one asset 5 has been received as a good receipt, one is in work in progress, and one has been out of raw material. So one item we have processed successfully. So when we do for all the items, all the records will be there in the stock transaction ledger. So this is basically the ITAD module. Next, certificate generation is also possible in the system. Any company having any number of certificates with custom format, this can be generated from the system itself with the data provided by them to the system. Next, we have some reports, for example, the buying report and the selling report. So as I have done a purchase, I'll just move on to purchase and I'll show you the buying report. I'll just generate the report from 1st of April to 8th of April. So this is the purchase report that is there with all the items. Desktop, this much quantity we have purchased, this much of inventory has been successfully done, that means GRN has been done, and this much has been accounted for. And if I move on to the right hand side here, the amount of which the purchase order has been created, how much inventory has been done, and what is the amount that has been accounted for. And here is the average price of the inventory, and average price of the accounted items. In this report, you can filter the report by selecting the suppliers, the items, and branch, and you can also export the Excel of the report.